Emerson invented. Let me put it away. I think also on the tuples. I think list. I remember lists, and then the tuples, and then the boolean. The boolean you mentioned is like the boolean. I think is the true or false. So
yeah.
yes, So and then you indicated one will come with a square brackets. Is it the list? And then others are in. I remember those brackets. We have the square, the normal brackets, and then the other one. What's the name of those types of brackets for each of the data types?
The curly print.
When you look at yes, the when you press the shift and then you press the square bracket, what you get on?
That's what is the query bit.
Okay, sure. So I believe that is we reviewed the data types.
Okay. I think that is fine. So we will continue today. I think what we've done in terms of the data type, the list, and all those things. I believe classification maybe the list, I do and the numbers, and the billion, you remember that?
Say again. I think your voice was a bit.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Okay, so I'm saying that when it comes to the data type, okay, we have issues for them. Let's say for the number type, the boolean, and all this, we have a issue for them. Then when it comes to the string, the list, the people, the sets, the dictionary, all these, we have a classification for them. So I'm asking you that you remember the classification for these groups. Do you remember?
No, I forgot it.
Okay, so I think we talk about the simple data type, which we see them in the number type, that's the limit. And then we look at the collection type, and I have explained to you because the collection simply means come in a group. Okay, the
Yes.
collection type is just single. Okay, so integer, float, all those are single. So that's what bullying all these things. So when it comes to a group like a string, then we say that all those ones are also what attributable. I hope you remember that. Right?
We cut and join again. I was using the headpiece, but I was to hear properly, so I want to cut and join again.
Okay.
Where the House of Representatives and Republicans are only 2 seats away from holding majority. Democrats need 16 seats.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me share my screen with you. I think I've done that right.
Yes.
I've done. Okay. So last time we started with the slicing under the string.
Yes. It's true.
What is the slicing? What is the slicing all about?
So the slicing under the strings help us to cut in between, let's say, a string or some. I forgot the right term to use, but then we were able to cut it depending on the parameters or the how you couch it. It can give us maybe between the second and then the last, depending on how we
Mm.
play around with it. It will give us whether we want to deal with the up to the last bits to include the last bit or read the last but one. We can even do it such that it can give us some maybe repetition, like it is jumping every other number or like a set of a I don't know, but I remember you mentioned something that depending on how we couch it, it can jump. Let's see, if it is 1 to 10, it will be doing it 1, then it's jumping to 3, 5, like in that order. And it all depends on
Mm.
how we set the.
Mm. Okay. So I think that is fine. So let's continue from where we left last time. Okay. So I will pick some numbers like what I have here. Okay, which is 1 up to 0 up to the 9 there. I hope you can see my screen. Hello.
I can see.
Okay. So based on what we did last time, I have this number here, and what you know is if I assign a string of
Yeah,
uh,
please have started.
if I assign the string to this number, okay. So if I call this numbers, definitely it's going to give me what it have inside. So for slice, we could slice some part of it. Okay, so if and we are saying that a string individual character is being being occupied by what? An index. So now individual character that we have here, if you want to access individual character, you use the index to access. And to access it, we say that number, that is the variable name. Okay, so the variable name, then open and close square brackets, then you put in the index. So for instance, if it's in the 0, I'll place in the 0. That means that it's going to give me the first character, the first number there. So now you can see that here I'm having what? 0 as the first string. If you have this, now we use this one when you have column, it means slice. Slice means that you want to copy part of it. So we use the column for slice. Okay, so now here, what I'm doing is that if I type in this, it means that you will be getting from the beginning. By default, it knows that it's starting from what, 0, and then ending after the last number stops.
Number.
That's what this one means. Okay, so if I place anything there, that is how it's going to be. So now I want to copy some parts. So I could start from an index, let's say index 2, and then move on to maybe index 5. In that case, it's going to start from printing from 2 and then end at what, 5. That's what it means. Okay, so you could see that index 2 is what, 2, and then end at what, 5. That would be the 4. So that's what we went through. Okay, and then we said that you can also, so this is the starting, this is the stopping. Then you can, we have what we call that, we last time I told you that by default the incremental by default here, it starts from 1. It just for 1 here, which means that you can just start with 1 here, like 2, 3, and then add, because everything is 1. Okay, and then you could use either to skip. So you are saying that you should skip 1 after the other, 1 after the other. So if I want to skip 2, okay, so either you use the skip or step. So if I want to skip 2 or step 2 up, then it means that at each interval it will move the next step 2 steps. Okay, so what this one means is that it's going to give me up to 4, because start from here and then step up 2. Okay, step up 2. So that is what it means here. Now, with this in mind, that is the positive indices. Okay, so we use the positive slicing. Now for the negative slicing, we start from back. So the last item is negative. That's what we said. The last item here is negative. So if I place in -1, in that case, it's going to give me the last item, that is, which is negative. Okay, which is negative. So this -1, that is how this one works. So you could see that here you have here that to give you the last item, which is 9 here. Okay, and we could do the same thing with the slicing. So I could start from here and slice for, let's say, -5. So -5 means that, and stop at nothing. So it means that it's starting from negative. Okay, so what it means is that from here it's going to slice from what, 9 up to -5. So you could see that it started from here. What is the 5 here? So -5 will be from somewhere here. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so that is how it will go up. So now it's starting from -5, and then it will get to what,
Please,
-1.
just a minute. I remember you explained clearly about the -1, but I've forgotten actually. So why are we starting the -1 from the 9?
Why are we starting from negative? No, I'm saying that when it comes to the negative indices,
Yes.
so print from the back. So
Okay.
now here, the back, front
Okay.
starting from 0, and
Okay.
back starting from -1.
-1. Okay.
Okay, so the 9 is -1, 8 is -2, 7 is -3. Okay, 6
Sure,
is
I get it.
-4, and then 5 is -5. So
Okay.
that is, if you are starting from -5, and then we are ending at nothing here, it means that we want to add what the negative 1 to it. But if, for instance, we mean negative 1 here, what it means is that we are stopping at what? We are stopping at negative what? 1. So it's not going to include that.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what we went through. Okay.
Sure.
Now, the other part where we got to is if I have this one, and let's see, skip this. Okay, and then I have negative, so this is for negative 1. Okay, and then I have another column. So this column that we have here, if I have another negative aspect, okay, so I know that I have negative 1. So the negative 1, I hope we understand what it means here.
Sure.
Okay, and then this one, we also know what it means here. So this is where we got to, and then when we run this code, we realize that it gave us none. Okay, so we're not having anything here. So now what I'm saying here is that when you receive something, what it means is that you are starting from negative. We know that by default, the starting point, okay, of our slicing is starting at what? Negative 5.
Negative 5.
Okay, and then is stopping at what?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. But when we have negative in this negative skip here, what it means is that we are it means reverse. Okay, what it means is that we want to reverse. Reverse means that you should reverse everything and print from behind. That is what this simply means. Okay,
Sure.
so negative here simply means reverse. Okay, so we are reversing from behind. Okay, but what it means here is that it's not consistent. Okay, now here we are saying that negative 1, negative 5, and here is what? Negative 1. So how is it going to redo the reverse? Because see, here is what? Negative 5, and then this one is negative 1. So reverse means that it will print from what? It will start from behind. Okay, so maybe starting from 5. So here is telling us that it will start from negative 5, and we know that from here negative 5 will be what? What will be the negative 5 when you start from behind? Negative 5 will be the 5, right?
With the 5, yes.
Yeah, will be the 5. So what this one means that is here negative 5, starting from negative 5, and then stopping at what? Negative what?
Negative 1 is you exclude the last one.
Yeah, but in reverse, when it's something like this, it doesn't make sense. So it find it difficult to do the reverse, and that is why we have the negative here empty. Okay, so now let's see that if we want to do the reverse, and then here I will decide to say that okay, as from here I'm just leaving this place empty. So the negative here, there's nothing here, and then there is nothing here. Okay, so now you can see that I have nothing in the first one, and then I have nothing. It means that I want to reverse all. That's what it means. Okay, so if I start from here and run this code, now you can see that the printing is starting from where?
It has reversed it.
Reverses. So that's essence. So that's what this one means. So now we see that it has reversed from negative what? Negative here means that reverse. So now you can see we have 9, we have the 8, we have the 7, we have the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is the reverse. Okay. Now, if we want to maintain this, and then we come here and say that, okay, instead of reverse, I will place here negative 5. What it means is that now the moment you have a negative here and this one, it means that, hey, I say that we should start from what? You should start from negative what? 5 and do the reverse. So that is what it means. The moment you start something here, then you confuse. So if you want to do the reverse, so now we see that here, if I'm starting from negative 5 and I run this code, now you will see that I've done the reverse, and then the reverse is starting from 6. What it means is that the 5 here, you can see that the 5 here is where the thing is stopped. So now you can see that what that the 6 means. If I count from here, this one is what? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, but when it's doing the reverse, did you see the -5? Did you see the -5?
Please.
Where?
No, please.
But then I believe you understand what is this means from our previous explanation.
Sure. And
Because
that's where it's supposed to be ending.
That's where it's supposed to be ending. So it's not going to add this one.
Yes.
Yes, do you get it? And because we didn't have anything here, so in that case, that will be like that. So it's going to start, but then we already know that it's supposed to end here, but because we are starting from -5 here, it will end here, but then it will start from what? Negative what? That the difference is that it's ending at 5, okay, but then this is where it's ending, okay, but then we are saying that the reverse should start from what? -6. That's what it means. So it ending here, that is the 5. We are saying the 5, but then it will start from what? The next one, which is what? The negative what? 6.
6.
That's what that will be. So it will end here and start from 6. That's the difference when we have here.
Sure.
So I will still do the step. So instead of me increasing it by reversing it 1, so if I can say that a -2 here, now -2 here, you already understand why 97.
To skip
9
the 8, like the middle, it will be skipping.
Yeah. Escape that. Okay, so the whole idea is, so now if I come here, let's say I just jumped here and then I place a number here, which is let's say negative negative 3, but I believe we know this one. What would this one give us if I place -3 there?
So if you
What would it give us
if
if
you
I say -3?
so it means that it is going to start at the -3. So then, okay, let's say -1, -2, -3, which is 7 in this case. But then I think 7 will not be included. So more of 8, right?
No. If you start here, you see that what do you have here?
7,
What do you have
6.
here? 7, 6. So why 7, 6?
It is starting. I was thinking it is going to start at the -3 and end at
Starting from where?
Starting from okay,
While
we are reversing it.
we are reversing it. We have a negative, we are reversing it.
So we are going to start from the -3. So like -1, -2, -3. But then the -3 is not part.
The -3 is not part.
Yes. So then you start from 6 because 7 is the -3. Then, but you are
But
ending at -5.
this one, if I move here, -1, -2, negative what?
3.
3.
But it's
So
not part.
-3.
It's
But
not part.
see, is there? Don't you have 7 there?
Is there?
Yes. So what it
Why is
means
the
is
7
that
there?
no, because see, what is happening is that even though we are doing reverse,
Yeah.
okay, but at this point we are now saying that hey, we are just forcing it to do something here, okay. So by force we are
Okay.
saying that start from
Okay.
-3. So the beginning part will print that one first.
Okay.
Okay. So the beginning part, it will print the 7. So when you count from the back, you will see -1, -2, -3. That is 7. That one will come first. After that, then it will come to what? The stopping. But you know that it's stopping at 5. So if it's stopping at 5, then it moves to the next one and print it. So it's not print 5. So you could see here
Yeah.
-1, -2, -3, -4. -5 is 5.
Yes.
So
In
since
that place that okay.
it leave that and then
Yes.
get out 6.
Okay.
Okay. But then it couldn't, and in reverse, we were expecting like it should start with what? -6 rather. But here it's forcing it out because we've intentionally fixed it that it should start from what? Negative what? 3. If, for instance, I just come here and just remove this one and make here empty, what do you think will happen? What result are you expecting?
It means it will go to the end. No,
So
or it
here
will,
you see the -3 will
yes,
come.
will come.
Okay,
Yes.
will come all right. But
Yes.
now here, left here what? Empty.
Until so it will go
So
to
the
the end. Yeah.
-3, yes, will come. But then you could see that what is at end? You could see
It's
there's
0.
something what? 0. So
Yes.
if it's 0, what has taken place? What has taken place?
It has gone to the end.
Yeah. So I'm asking you that
Mhm.
it's moving from what?
The 7, which is the -3. If
Which
you are
is
doing the
what?
reverse,
Which is negative what? 3.
3, yes.
Uh-huh. And then we can see that this one, the 0 here is last. So it tells you
Yes.
that something has happened. That's what I want to draw your attention to. Do you get it?
Yes. Because you didn't
So
put anything there, no. You didn't, it went to the very end. You didn't put a restriction.
I want you to check the numbers and compare to what we have there. If, for instance, if there's no reverse, let's see. If there's no reverse, this one, instead of reverse, I'm just making it 1 and see the output. Now, what do you have here?
Wow. The
What do you have?
789.
7, 8, 9. What does it tell you?
You want to the other end, so it will move to the, because we have done it reverse, it will move to the other. This time round, it moved to the.
So this time round is starting from where? It's starting from negative what? That is the starting point, negative 3. And you know that negative 3 is what? 7, right?
Yes.
And then it will print up to what? The 9, everything.
10, yes, to the right. Yeah.
That is the normal as we know.
Yes.
But here I said that when you have the negative, we are talking about
reverse. Yes.
So now in reverse, we are forcing it to start from what? The reverse to start from what? Negative what? To start from negative 3.
3.
The index. So we know that from the starting point, this one, we want this one to be fixed, the 7. So now when you check here, you can see that the negative 3, what is negative 3?
It's on the 7.
Negative 3 is the third one from the back, right?
Yes.
So that one has been printed first.
Sure.
Okay. Now, after that, what do we have next?
We have
What do we have next?
the 6.
So now you can see here,
4.
you can see here that there is nothing here.
Yes.
Okay, like the stopping part. But then it gave us some numbers here, which is what? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And I'm asking, when you check the number, what comes in mind?
I see that it has reversed the number to the very starting point, including the first
including
index.
the
index.
The reverse started from where?
It's starting from the negative 3, which is the 7, all the way to the first index, which is 0.
Okay, so it tells you that the reverse here started, it turned from what? The negative 3.
Yes.
So you can see that the reverse turned from what? Negative 3, because that's where we started from.
Sure.
So from negative 3 and gave us the backwards as what? The 0. So you can see here the reverse actually took place. And then since we started from negative 3, so it means that 8 and 9 will not come. I hope that one is clear.
Sure.
Yes. So if, for instance, we want 8 and 9 to appear, what do we need to do?
Then we have to cut it to
So we can start from negative. We can start from, if we want A to be part, then instead of this, the starting point should be what? Negative what? Negative 2, right?
2, yes.
So if my starting point is negative 2, in that case, I'm expecting that this one should be part of it. So now you can see that the reverse has taken place. That is from negative 2. Okay. In the same way, if we want the negative 1, so now it should reverse from the back. So we know that reverse from the back, and then that would be that negative 1. Here will be negative 1. Okay. And then you have the negative 1 there. In that case, it's going to reverse everything.
Sure.
Okay. In the same way, you could decide to leave this one, the negative 1 from there. So what tells you that it's going to do the reverse? Okay, so you could see the same way.
Sure.
But by default, it knows that reverse is going to start from what? Negative what? To start from the back. Okay, but you can force it by putting the number in front. Mean that what you want, that's what it's going to start with. I believe you've gotten the idea.
Sure.
Okay, so now you could see that where we had the empty. Now I hope you've gotten the understanding.
Sure.
So when you start from -5 here, it tells you that you can't start from -5 and end at what? -1, because in reverse it's supposed to start from the back. So 1 should come before 5. So if you make 5 start from 5 and end with 1, then it's going to give us empty. Do you get it?
Yes.
Do you get it? That's why I'm saying that when we know the starting point and we know the ending, this is where I'm ending. Okay, I'm ending at negative this thing 1. And we know the -1 is the last, but then you are saying you are starting at 5. So how is it going to do the reverse? So in that case, is to give you empty string. That's what we have there. Do you get it?
Okay.
Yeah. So the basic idea is that we have our number there, and then this is how we are going to start with. So once you go beyond that, then if it doesn't fall within the condition that will cause the reverse, in that case it's going to give us what? The empty string, like what we have there. So that is what we did for the slicing, and then we say that for slicing we could use the slicing. This one is a string. It can also appear in what? um in list. At the same time you can also use it in string. So this ends with the slicing. So from the notes where what we went through, you see that this is an example that you see. Okay. Now we also because we're doing strings and all those things, there are other functions that we need to know. But then I want us to focus more on things for now. Okay, some of the things we've already done. I made mention for the triple code, right? I hope you understand the meaning of the triple code and all those things. When you have a triple code and then when you have a single code, do you understand, like something like the triple code like this, and then the double code like this, and the single code? Did I explain it to you?
Yeah, I think you mentioned something like that.
When we started, do you still remember?
I think so.
So
Uh,
when we have the triple code like this, what does it mean from that class? So this one allow the double line string. Okay, double line. So for instance, I could copy the whole of this. I could copy the whole of this as a passage. Okay.
okay.
Now you can't use you can't use this one. This is a single string. If I place this what I just copy inside this, let me assign this one to center. Let's see, sentence. Okay, and then I just assign the whole of this to this. Now this one will not work. Okay, why? Because at this point you see that you just pick one line. Do you see? Just pick one line. That is the first one. Do you see the first one?
Yeah.
Where you see, that means that this one, we use this one for a single line string. So this is a single line string. So if you have one code, it's a single line. Maybe you want to cover more than one line, like So multiple lines. We use multiple line for the triple code. Okay, so the same thing. What I just did, this one will definitely give us error. So now let's see that I have sentence again. And then I'll assign it to this. So at this time, I'm using the triple code. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'll paste everything there. So now you could see that it came with what? A multiple line. So you can see the first line, second, up to the last. So now I'll close this one. Okay, and then run the code. So now you could see that if I call sentence, you could see that. Do you see everything?
Yeah.
Okay, for multiple line. So instead of maybe having one line, so if I have one line, something, or we use single quotes, and then we use this one for multiple, and then we use the same thing for comments. So maybe you want to comment a line where you don't even want to assign it to anything. Like maybe I've assigned it to a variable, by just serving as a note somewhere, but maybe you can reference it. Or maybe you want to just print something like that. In that case, you could still use the triple code to do that. So for instance, I just want to have a comment. So you already know this one, the hashtag as a comment, right?
Yeah.
So this one is for a single line comment. So this is single line comment. Okay, and then you can also use this one. So this one is what? This one is the multiple line comment. Okay, like this one. Do you get it? So this is multiple line comment, and then
I'm struggling to get a difference between the multiple line comment and then the triple code.
see, I'm saying the triple code. We use the triple code for, you can use it to assign a multiple line, like sentence,
Okay.
like multiple
Okay.
line. It can be used for
I
two
get it.
things: to assign for a variable which contain multiple line. Okay,
Okay.
and then you can also use it for a comment. Okay, it means
Oh,
that
I
comment
get it.
means you're assigning it to any variable.
Okay.
Okay, so you can either use it in that case, or you can use it to assign multiple line, maybe value to a variable. Okay, or you can use it for a multiple line or comment. So when you have a comment that contain more than one line, then you use this one. If you
Okay.
just one line comment, then you can use this.
I get it.
Uh, Okay, so now that this one is okay, then so now you could see that once I run, you can see the multiple line comment. You just printed it as a comment. Okay.
Yes.
Now the next thing is we want to understand the string. Now every string, everything that we do in programming, now we've understood what they call the variable and stuff, and then we went further to look
Sure.
at the data type. Now each data type that we are looking is having a property. So when we see property in maybe English not relating to programming, can you give me your understanding? Property.
Property.
When, yes,
Please the question again.
I'm saying that the data type that we have, okay, side word whatever we know, each data type is having a property. Okay,
Sure.
property that something like a functionality attached to that will allow you to do something different. Okay, and I'm seeing that in English when somebody say maybe a character is having a property. So if a character is having a property, what do you mean by a character is having a property?
Oh, it means it will behave in a certain way.
Yes,
Like
it
for
has
the
some unique features that will allow you to behave in a certain way. Okay, so
yes,
it is same thing to the string. Okay, so now we already know that when we call the string str here, this one is for string. I believe that is clear, right?
sure.
Okay, so if now I use my here function, okay, we could check some properties that this one the string have. So that
Mm,
will allow the string to move in a certain way. Okay, so that is what I want us to look like. So now if I come here and then I run this one, you could see that we have the string object, okay, and then inside that we see that there are different methods. For now, the focus is not on them. Okay, so now
sure.
for format, I think you've seen format, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now one of the property that you can see this one capitalized. I think you've seen that one too, right? So maybe if you have a string, okay, and
Okay.
then it's starting with capitalized. Capitalized means that starting with the first letters will be capitalized. Okay,
Sure.
so it's going to change if all is small letter and you add this capitalized, it's going to change everything. Like that. So that is one is what capitalized. Okay, another property that the string have, we look at this is the lower case. So you could see that we have what centered. Okay, so you could centered a far. Okay, we have another one count. It means that I can count the number of what a character that I have within a string. Like maybe you pick your name, you put it inside the count. Okay, it's going to count that for us. Okay, so that is the count property that we have here. So you do that, this dot count. Okay, so it's going to count everything that we have, but the number that will count will be what? An integer. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So now you see another property we could look at encode. Okay, so encode is another property we can look at. For now, we will not use encode, and then we end with. So end with is another property. Okay, so there are lots of them.
Them. Okay.
Defined, you can see find, you can see format, you could
Wow.
see a lot with index. So you can see index. You can, I think we are using the index now. So maybe you want to find index of, so you can place it in index. It's going to get you the index of that character. Maybe S. You want the index of it. Once you put in here, it will be able to get you the index. Okay. So these are all then is number. So you can see here it's alphanumeric. So here is going to check that maybe you have a string. You want to check that within the string you are having the alphanumeric. Alphanumeric simply means alphabet and what number. Okay. And that is the boolean. So if it's alphanumeric, it's true. If it's false, then it means that it's not alphanumeric. So anytime you see is for something, it's something we're talking about what a Boolean value. Okay, so you could see that is alpha, means that we are talking about only what alphabet. So if it's that is, if not, it's false otherwise. Okay, so these are all the property there, lots. Okay, now is ASCII means that ASCII characters. I think last time I showed ASCII characters to you, right?
Yes, please.
So now if we see the ASCII characters, these are the numbers, the alphabets, the numbers, the characters, and all those. So
ASCII, hey,
ASCII
ASCII
characters
characters.
mostly.
I don't remember the ASCII characters. So. But maybe you said sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes I go off small. But the ASCII there, I don't remember.
Okay, let me show you ASCII characters. Okay, maybe it will not be your class, right?
Okay.
No, it will not be your class. So let's see. So when you check here, so if I come here, you can see the ASCII characters. So you see ASCII characters here. We see that we have ASCII characters. We will go into that. We will learn how to do the calculation. So what does 0 means? Okay. So 0, 1. So 0. This is a decimal number in octa, hexadecimal, and binary. Okay. And then we have the HTML symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you can hear?
I
Hello.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So when you check this one, I could see here, these are the symbol. This symbol means now. So this is the HTML and stuff, the description now character. I could see 1. 1 is the decimal. If I want to convert, you learn the conversion to octa. Octa means base 8 and hexadecimal base. So now you can see here the hexa value is this 0, 1. Then the binary is this. Okay, and the symbol for the send HTML, this is what how you represent this in HTML file. Okay, so you can see all these numbers here, and it goes to do with your keyboard. Now, last time I was saying that the keyboard keys that you pick. So if, for instance, I type in A on my keyboard, A means that A, capital A, it means something here. Okay, so whatever that you have here, these are ASCII numbers here, and then you could see here, these are all the numbers that you have here. Okay, so now if I move on to the character here, you could see here I have the same numbers which are going down there and stuff. Okay, so these are all the
Up to
characters. So now
infinity.
if I come here, yeah, it goes. So now if I come here, A, this is the character A. Now you could see that these symbols, when you check on your keyboard, you could see all these symbols. So for instance, on your keyboard, 0 on your keyboard means this binary. Now on your keyboard, when you type 0, it means this in heads, and it means this 60, this, and it means this in base. Okay, so you could see that everything now, the keyboard that we type, when you type something on your keyboard, it doesn't go as uh, a character. Okay, the keyboard, whatever you type on your keyboard comes at what? A number base 10. Okay. And then it will convert it to machine language, which is what? Base binary, which is base 2. Okay. And sometimes some of the things are also in hexadecimal and some are in octadecimal. So now you can see here, these are the apps we have up to this. Okay. A, B, C, D, and all the signs, as you can see here, everything has a number that is represented. And then you see delete, what that delete means, okay, in your keyboard, if you see here, delete here, means this sign, this is what it means. So this is all about your keyboard input. So for instance, you've not gotten there, but I just want to explain to you. Maybe when you get there, it will be easy for you. So now, all this one that you are seeing here, it means that these are the properties that we can have. Okay. Now, what I'm saying here is that let's see that everything will be going into now here Python. Okay, so I have my name. So name here is I'm assigning my name, which is Kingsley, okay, to a character. So I'm typing on my keyboard, okay, but you are seeing it as what? This, right? So you are seeing at this, but the computer doesn't see these characters as you are seeing here. It sees as what? Numbers. Okay. Now, before you see this, everything is in bytes. So now you see that here, this is bytes. Okay. Now you need to make sure that every information is bytes. Now, in bytes simply means that if you are reading any data from a device, external device, maybe a temperature device or ultrasonic sensor or everything, it picks the data as a byte. Okay. Okay, so now this is my byte. If I want to check the type, the data type, let's see type. If you check the type, now you can see that it came as what? This is bytes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a string, but it's a byte string, which is smaller than the string. Okay, and we already know that 1 byte makes what? 8 what? 1 byte makes 8 bits, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I want to maybe get individual characters that I have. Now, when you want to get individual characters here, it comes as what? It comes as a number. Okay, it will not come. You already know slicing. I hope you know slicing.
Sure.
So if I want to get individual number like King, K-I-N-G, if I want K is at index what?
Index 0.
The 0. So you know, if I come my name, so this is King, and then I place in 0 here. Now you could see that 0 here, it will give me 75. Do you get it?
Sure.
Instead of maybe normal character, which is what? A, because at byte level, we are now looking for. So when you want to get individual value from a byte, it comes as what? Integer. Because that is what exactly your keyboard is up for. So now if you go to what we were looking, let's go and look for K. K here will be for what? If you check K, Now, in what I just thought it was in not hexa and not octa, it's decimal. So now when you check here, what is 75? 75 is what?
K.
K. As a capital K.
Yeah.
Okay, capital K. Then you can see that it's the uppercase K. Okay, so now you can see that it tells you that it's the uppercase K. It's capital. Okay, so that's what this one means. And this is K in binary and K in what? Hexa and K in oct. Okay, and this is what the keyboard. So every keyboard that you see here under the keyboard is dealing with numbers, because with the integer, then you can convert it to machine language, which is binary.
Binary.
Yes, which is binary. So we say that computer understand binary. You will get the into details. So we will treat it as a main thing. So you understand how to do the conversion from this thing, how to convert from your normal string to bytes and all those things. Go into that. So just a few things. So let's focus on what we are doing. Okay, so I think I was here. So for now, we know that there are properties for string, right?
Sure.
So those properties make the string behave in a certain way. So we could see the R index, all those things are properties. So there are a lot of them split. There are a lot of them that you can see. We'll split it into a list. Start with, that's the beginning, translate to uppercase. So you can see that uppercase, so you change everything to uppercase. And then we have the lower. So we convert the string to uppercase. Okay. So that is capital. Then we have the lower. So these are some of the things that we needed to go through. So when you check the notes where we got in here, I think I just explained this one to you, so you should get this one. I hope you understand.
Sure.
That 1 byte is what, 8 bits. Okay.
8 bits, yeah.
And that is what I 8 bits. And then if you have, let's say if I have, this is a byte, B, any, when you have B in front of a string, it's a byte. So now if I assign a byte to S, okay, so now if I want to assign, here we are assigning what, A to B byte, A byte to C. So now if we say that S this, okay, in the 0 equal to C, true or false? It's false. Why false? From what I just explained to you. Hello.
Can you go back? I got lost a bit.
Okay, I'm saying that we are looking at the bytes.
Sure.
Okay, the byte and byte array. Okay, so what I'm saying is that if I have a byte string, okay,
Sure.
that is alphabet soup, okay, assign it to S, and then I have a byte what, string A, okay, which is assigned to C. Then we are saying that S in the 0 equal to C, and it's false. And I'm saying that why false? Why false?
Because from the earlier definition that you've given, we don't have S.
You know, when you have equal time, it means that we are comparing the two. So you are
Yes.
comparing this and this. But you know that S in the zero will give us what? What will be the value? S in the zero in bytes. What is the value that will come out? Integer, right?
Yes, yes.
And then here, C will definitely give us what? What is assigned to C? Is a byte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the byte. So it means
Byte.
that integer cannot be equal to byte, right? In terms of type, they are not the same.
The type, yes.
Yes, because when you call C, actually it's going to give us what? B bytes, right? And then when you call S index, it's going to give us what? An integer value. Okay. But if you want to equal it, then we could see that S in the zero is equal to C in the zero. And we know that C in the zero is what? A. And then S in the zero is also what? A. And their value, their integer value will be what? The same. I hope it's clear.
Honestly, I think I didn't get this part. A bit lost.
Let me go through. Okay. The first point is, let's start from here. Okay.
Okay.
When we see index, what comes in mind? When you say index, what comes to mind? That is
Index,
the position.
The position, yes.
Yes, index. Yeah, the position. So now we are talking about a byte and the byte array. Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm seeing that a byte got to do with what? 8 bits.
8 bits.
So if I have 1 byte,
it's
I'm
got to
talking
8
about
bits.
8 bits.
Yes.
Okay. And equivalent to what? An integer from what? 0 to 255. Do you get it? Equivalent from an integer was 0 to what? 255. Okay. And using a raw bit pattern stored by what? A computer. Okay. Or transmitted over the network. Okay. So a raw bit pattern stored by what? The computer. So if you have a raw bit pattern, like maybe A, is stored by the computer. Okay.
Sure.
Do you get it?
Sure.
So like the way that we mean, so this is what, and then if you have on network, data is transmitted in the form of bytes. So you ask yourself, why is that? Sometimes I say, oh, the network is, but if the data is big, like a string that is passing through the network, it will not go. So mostly data is being converted in bytes, which is very small to go through. And within the bytes, you can get individual character, which can also represent what in binary. So this is how the whole composition works. So if you are dealing with networking and all those things, you still need to understand the protocol, what is behind everything. Okay. So now we want to look at bytes. Okay. So if I have store a byte, we already know how to store, assign a string to a variable, right?
Sure.
I think we know that. Okay.
Yes.
So if normal string that we know to a variable, start with the string word. Okay. So if I have this, okay, this one means that it's a byte. So if I remove the B, it will be a string, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, we already know if I want to access individual character, the one in quotes, we know that we need to use one, the index. I hope that one too is clear.
Yes, say again, if we want to access the individual character.
Yes. Like maybe I want to access maybe A or L or P or A.
Sure.
I need to use
You'll be what?
the index. You need to use the index, right?
Index, yes. True.
So now what we are doing is that now I have this one, another variable, and then I'm assigning it to be this. Okay, and inside this I have what? A.
Okay.
So this A, if I call C like this, okay, C like this, what do you expect? It's going to give me B bytes, right?
Yes.
Now if I call this S, it's going to give me what? B what? Alphabet.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then we say that if I say S this O, what do you expect? It's going to give us what? And we are saying that once you access individual character from a byte, the output is what? An integer. And we are saying it's within a range from 0 to what? 255.
255.
Okay. So now once I point this one, you saw that it gave me what? 65. And 65 is what? It's base 10 of what? Base 10 of what? Integer. Which represents A. So now when you go to this site where we went there, you could see that A 65 here represent what? A.
Sure.
Yeah, but in bytes, it will not come as A. It will come as what? Integer.
65. Integer.
That is the actual value for your keyboard A.
Sure.
I hope it's okay. So now if we say that this S index 0, okay, is equal to C, true or false?
It's true.
Why?
Because S in the 0, which is the bytes of the index A, which in the machine language is 65, will be the same as the assigned value of A to the C. I know where I'm getting
But C, when you call the C, what is the value that we had?
The byte of A.
The byte of A. And then when you call S in the 0, what's the value?
We got 65.
So is this equal to this?
No, but the byte of A is byte of A not equal to 65.
No, we are not. We are talking about the type, the data type.
The type. Okay. Sure.
So, actual sense, it will be false because here, the inside C, what the C is giving us is bytes.
Bytes, yes.
And then what? Because this one, the full S is the alphabet. Now we want individual, just A of this is giving us what? 65. So this is not equal to this. Okay. If we want to say equal, we could say that this. We could say that this in the 0 and this is equal. Why?
Because it will give you the same
integer, right? Because that will point to A. Because
yes,
in the 0 of B byte will be what? Will be A, and A in bytes, when you want to access A in bytes, it will give us what? An integer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anytime you access a byte, the results will be what? Integer.
Integer.
Okay, you won't get the string. So now you will go and check what is the actual value for that. Okay, so these are some of them. If I just put, let's say, a keyboard character here, let's change here to maybe MB. Okay, and then I'll assign it to bytes. This hashtag. Okay,
Sure.
now let's see. If I check MB, what is the value? 35. If you go and check 35, you will see that 35, this is 35. This is how we can see that.
Yes.
Okay, so every keyboard, whatever you see here, is being represented under is capturing what? A number base 10 value. Now
Sure.
to do the conversion and all on your keyboard you will see this, but when you type, the computer doesn't see what the hashtag, it sees what? 35.
5.
So if I
And to
key on
convert the
hashtag,
35 to a binary.
computer sees what? 35, and can convert 35 to what? A binary, which is what? Zeros and one. I hope it's clear now.
Sure.
Okay, so this is what this binary is. Like I said, that you cannot look through the binary itself. So like with the way we have here and all those things, and we already know that whatever that we are taking from a byte come as what? Integer. And then can we look through integer? Is an integer attributable? It's an integer attributable.
Integer as what?
Attributable. Like you can even look through an integer.
Attribute.
Yes. Can it be possible? Can it be possible?
I remember you talk about this, but the attrition,
Because integer it cannot be attributable, because like last time I told you that we talked about the data type and we grouped them into two. If you remember, the simple data are not attributable. Okay, like the number and all they are all not attributable. You cannot look through. Okay, and the rest, as you can see, are attributable. Okay, which when we started, I even asked you. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. Okay, so now before you can attribute through that, you can either change this one to a byte array. Okay, so if I change a byte to a byte array, then I cannot attribute through. Okay, I hope it's clear. So what we have here, we've done for, I have Kingsley, okay, which I did place a value here, okay, or we can also have the S as what? A value. So if I call S here, you could see that it's giving us some value here. But this value that is coming is what? It's coming as what? A byte, right? So
Yes.
I could but array. Okay, so we want the byte array. So you could say byte array. So the byte array underscore 1. Okay, what it means is that we want to change everything from the byte as you have here, whatever that we have here. So all the other information that I have here, these are this. So we want to convert this one into a byte array. So we use the byte array as you see here. This is the method. So we see that as we have the same method, type the name byte, okay, and then the byte array. So this is the byte array, okay. So this byte array here, we can use it to convert everything that we have here as bytes to an array. That's what we mean that. And when you have the array, you can iterate through the array, okay, because it's iterable. Okay. So if I come here, you will see that I have the whole data here, which is what my bytes. So inside this one, we have our value, which is the s. Okay, so s is our value that we just type. Okay, so now if I come here and I call the name bytes array underscore 1. Okay, so now here you can see that it's going to give me what? Sorry, the spelling. What did I do? Bytes. Oh, it's byte array. Okay, so the byte array here, what I have here, if I type here, you could see that it just gave me what? Byte array. So you could see that this is the byte array. Okay, so now you've converted your bytes, which is the to an array. So I can decide to look through this and say for maybe for this is the attribute that we last time was talking about. So for maybe byte byt in this one, that is the byte array, the one that I just typed here. Okay, this one into byte array. I think we will get into the loop system, you understand better. I just want you to understand the bytes stuff.
Sure.
So from here, I'm just iterating through. Okay, so now I could have here and say print. So now print bytes is going to give me some numbers. Okay, so now you can see here, you see the numbers that I'm having. So based on the name that I'm having here, I have alphabet A, B, D, and then the space. All space also come with a number. So all these ones are the numbers that you could see here. These are keyboard numbers. Okay, so this is now I'm able to iterate that look through and get individual what integer for the keyboard. I hope it's clear.
Sure.
Okay, so that is the meaning of it. So now we will go into details of bytes and then do the conversion, but now just understand the basics and then also know how important byte is when you want to go into programming, because everything is centered in bytes.
Sure.
Okay, so the data type lower everything into bytes, and that is where the keyboard, everything that you capture data, start from there. If you are going to use a device, any device that read data and you send it, if you want the developers that using the data, I have a ultrasonic sensor which I'm using it. I'm reading data from, and the data that come as a package of what bytes. So you could see B and there are numbers, and each one means different things. So when you pick those data, you need to read and understand it. But when you don't understand this one, make it difficult to get the meaning of that. Okay. So now we gotten the understanding of this. The next point that we need to look at, the one that I was just going through with you. Okay. These are the string operations. So every string that you see here in quotes. Now, if you do this, have you see this sign? The plus sign. So the plus sign here, the plus operation in string, we call this concatenate. Concatenate
Okay.
simply means that we are joining. So in string, we will not see add. So you can join. So when you join, the key term is concatenate. So concatenation means that joining with two characters, or can be joining two strings or stuff. That is concatenate. And then the star. And then you can also use this one. This is the join method here, also for concatenation. So maybe to avoid using this, you can still use the join method here for concatenation.
Okay.
Okay. And then we move on to star. So when you have the star here in string, it really means what? Duplicates. So maybe you want to multiply something. So let's see. Let's go to a simple example, like I have name. Let's say first name. So this is my first name. First underscore name. Okay, and then I'll place here like Ken. Okay, and then I have last name. So inconcatenate simply means that we are going to join. Okay, so here I will use the word. Okay, so when I come here and say who underscore name, so in that case, I'm going to add my what? I'm going to join my first name, first underscore name, concatenate. So now because of this, I can just place this, okay, and then see what? Last underscore name. Okay, so now if I join this and I call who underscore name, now you could see that here it gave me what? In what?
Ba.
Kimba. So now you can see that it just joined. So maybe you can see that it has joined to, if maybe I want a space, I can now come here and leave a space. So you can create another space, concatenate a space. So I could just join with this one. Okay, this is giving a space to that. So now here you will see that then there will be a gap between what the king and what the bar. Okay, so if you call this line here, and now we come to type what full underscore name. Now you see here we have what king bar. Okay, so this tells you that we are what we are just joining. We are not what we are not adding. So if you
Adding.
see
Yeah,
this one
I get it.
here, actual sense we call what concatenate. We are joining. So this is what we use for concatenation. And then the other one is the duplicate, the multiple. So for instance, maybe you have this. Let's say I have hashtag. Okay, you see that hashtags. I only have one of this. Okay, now if I want multiple of this, I can say maybe 150 times. So times 50. So it's going to what multiply this by 50. So now you can see here. Do you get it? So sometimes you could use it to underline, or maybe if I want this instead of this one, I could change this one to this dash. So like this. So this one is going to give us the dash. So you can see the dash dash. If I move on to underscore, so underscore will give me a line. So now here you can see it's dash dash. So if I do underscore here, instead of this, I do underscore. Now this one is going to give me a line, a straight line. Okay. So what that we have here, I could also do this one. Let's see, underscore underscore.
But I don't get it all. The multiplication is dropping some characters I don't really get, especially immediately after the bar. When you multiply the hashtag by 50. So it is 50 times.
Multiply.
Okay.
No, that's why I'm saying that this is just duplicating.
Uh,
Okay, it's just duplicating what we have here. So I just told you about the properties of a string.
sure.
Okay, and when there, and then initially I asked you what is the property, and you told me it is. So now based on your string, what you have, now you could join them, which you see concatenation.
Sure.
You could multiply them.
Sure.
Okay, it's like multiplication.
Sure. Oh,
That's
I'm
the
not
number of
you.
times.
Yeah, I didn't know the numbers. So that's
Yeah,
50. The thing is, you repeated it 50 times. Yes, I
50
get it.
times. Okay.
Yes.
So and then we have uppercase and lower. Here you want to change to maybe all uppercase, like what you saw here. My name here, like you can see a first name. Okay, so if I want to change the first name all to, let's say, a lowercase, you could do that by just saying first underscore name, and then we use the dot operator to call for the lower. Okay, so in this case, it's going to change everything to lower. So you can see that Ken can say I change everything to lower. You could go
Yeah.
for up. Okay, you could go for upper, and that is also going to change everything to uppercase. Okay, Do you get it? So these are the properties. So to behave in a certain way. So you could see here. So sometimes you could fill the form and the developer will change how you want the output should be like. Okay. Not necessarily you sometimes you can fill the form by typing in small. But when you are typing as a capital, I hope you've seen some before. Sometimes you small, like you know that your small caps, but it's capital. That you're using a capital is coming as so depending on how the program the flow to look like. Okay, so now you could look like center, test, can just start with. So now you're going to check if it's starting with this, and this is going to give you a boolean. You can find index, find, and all those. Okay, you could see that we have the join. So we use the join also the same thing for the concatenation. Now is digit. So this one is going to check if it's digit. Okay, so this check so that all these things we use is alpha numeric. So if it's alpha numeric or it's alpha, so it's going to check whatever that you type here if everything is alpha. Okay, so like what I have here, and then you come here and do that. Maybe is alpha. So now this is going to check for the alphanumeric. Okay, so sorry, it's going to check for the alphabet. Okay, so that is what exactly that will check for. So if I check for alpha, and it's going to check that, hey, if this alpha, if everything is alphabet, then that's going to give us what true. If not, it will give us what false. That's what it means. Okay, so if you come here and then you check here, it's going to give us the boolean value. So now you can see that it's true. Why true? Because everything that is here is what alphabet. So that is what it means. So alphanumeric check for both alphabet and what number, and then is digit. Digit deal with what numbers. So it's going to check, and so in the join the split. Now you can split everything into what a list. Okay, so now the same thing, if I come here and I say split here is going to split everything that we have here. So instead of alpha, and then I type split, so this is going to split everything. Okay, so now you can see that here I have what kin, and it's a list. So now what I have here is full name. So let's use the full name rather, and then I will see split. So full okay. So full name. Okay, so now you can see that it has split it. You have king, and then there is a space because I was having a space. As you can see, the space is also shown, and the bar.
Yeah.
I hope it's clear.
Clear.
So now the split. So you split it in the form of what? A list. Okay, and then when you have this list here, you can join it back to by using the join function to join it back to the same thing. So I can just take this one back to um, what do you call a string. Okay, by using the other aspect, because I've talked to that I don't want to go there to just
okay.
Okay, so now here you see that the strip here is another function. Then what does it do? It remove the empty space, the gap. So for instance, if I type something here, let's say my underscore name, and this type I'm going to type something here, but then I will leave a gap. So you can see there's a gap here, and I say can be. So if I come here, oh sorry, so if you come here and you call my underscore name, do you see there's a gap? Can you see the gap?
Yes.
Okay, so this gap, you can remove the gap by using dot strip. So sometimes you fill a form, you can leave a gap, so the developer will now remove the gap. So when the output comes, you won't see. Okay, so now here you will see that removed the gap. Can you see the gap? You can't see. So we have this strip take care of both the front and back. So for instance, if I have another one, just remove everything and give me just the character what I have in here. So that is the strip. Okay, so you can see here the strip now here. You do partition, you can split a line. The out strip deal with if I have maybe in front of the left. So this one take care only this one take care of both left and right. Okay, this one you just want to take care of the left and you use the R. The right you use the R, and if you want the left you use the left. I hope it's clear.
Yes, boss.
Okay, and then we have replace. So you could also replace something. For instance, if I want to replace maybe Kim or B with a different name, then you could actually do by using the key term replace. Okay, so if you have here and then you type in this, okay, and then here you see replace. Now, so with this replace here, you can say replace what. So maybe I have the letter here, which is B. Okay, let's say B. So we want to replace B with so now you can see that it just changed this one. So I've just replaced what the small b with what the capital B. That is replaced. So these are the properties of the string. There are a lot of them that you can learn from, but I think these are the big ones that you need to know because this is what you'll be using more often. But the rest you could take chance of them and then see how to go about them. So this actually summarizes the whole string stuff. Okay, so once you have this thing in mind, you could now type assign data to a variable, and you can decide to check for the strip in case maybe a person leave a gap. You can just remove the gap, okay, so that it doesn't show. Do you get me?
Sure.
Okay. So what you've done, are you clear? We have 10 minutes. If there's maybe any doubts.
No, I think I realized that if you are learning from what you are doing, if you are doing programming, you should have some dedicated time because there is a lot to really learn. The information is a lot. So if you think you just come and do it and then you not get time to go through, you come and it keeps building up. Meanwhile, these are the basics, and I believe when we go deeper and you are writing it, you cannot go back and then you are going to check whether the operation, which sign am I going to use. I can imagine it is going to be a boring enterprise if you have to always be going back. But I also believe from what we are doing, I require a lot of practice to really master it, because it's like it comes natural to you. But I'm following the basics. I don't think it's something very difficult. Just that it requires time to go over and then.
So what I increase you, I want you to do is that I think where we got into last time I told you that you just take in terms of the variable stage. Okay, that is okay. I now understand the variable. What does the variable takes? You know that a variable takes for in data. Okay, then you ask yourself, what data type can the variable take? And now we've gone to we've gotten the number data type, the Boolean data type, okay, and now data type. And I explained to you these are a single data type, okay. So these are the basics that we went through, okay. And you try to access, and then you can do operations with them like addition, multiplication, subtraction, and stuff, okay. And then you can check for the Boolean value. Now, when it comes to the string is where you could pick in a sentence and all those things. So, as last time I told you that anything within a quote is a string. It could be a number. It could be what a Boolean. Once it is inside what a quote, it's no longer what maybe a Boolean. It becomes what a string. Okay. So once you understand that, you can now check what the properties of a string and see, okay, what are some of the properties that makes a string change its what behavior or outlook, because that is all about. And that's why I went through with the string function. So you could see some of the properties there, like maybe capitalize and all those things. Then you look at what point do I need to use this, which I told you that when you are even filling a form, you could have the lowercase where maybe you want everything that you capture should be in lowercase. Okay. For instance, if maybe we already know the prompt, what we use the prompt for, right? So maybe instead of first name here, first underscore name here, I'll prompt you and say enter. So I'll use the input function, okay, to prompt you to enter what a number. So now here I will see enter your first name here. Okay, now I don't want to tell you that start with capital. Okay, if for instance I want to maintain the output in the format in which I want, I can use this one dot what title. Now the title will change it to what the first letter should be in capital. That's what it will come. So if I come here and then I run it, okay, and you see that it's asking me what enter what first name. So now my first name, instead of me starting with it, I will just type Kingsley like this. Okay, now you could see that if I check first name here, first underscore name, what comes in? Now you can see Kingsley came instead of small by it changed it to what?
Capital.
Yes.
Well, you said
So
the title.
sometimes because I'm now I'm now forcing how I want the output to look like. So
Sure.
you filling the form might not see, but the developer has taken care of this because you might not know who will fill your form. Okay. Some people will see enter capital, but they will not. Do you get it? And you don't
Yes.
want redundant, you don't want inconsistent data. So you have to capture that as a developer. So in case someone sees it, then you just ignore, just to type in it. Some bank form, if you go to the bank now, you have this teller machine that you can key in your data. You are even typing small, it's giving you capital because they
Yeah.
force it.
Sure.
Okay, so these are some of the things. So all these properties you'll be using them. Okay, like the capital, the spread, and all those. And so maybe a data will come. You want to split it in there, maybe a list where you could use other means to format the whole thing, or you want to use for data analysis and stuff. So you might need all these properties. Maybe you want to check that what information that is coming is everything digits, because you know that bank bank account number come with a number and a digit. So you want to check if it's through a bank account, then you could use that alphanumeric. You will check
Sure.
that both alphabet and okay, so to check that actually is So these are some of the tools that we use. Okay, so in each case, just look at the practicality, don't just force yourself. So you could learn by just looking at some of these things that I'm just telling you, that take it one by one. Master, you now know